Hello and welcome to Birth Thoughts 101. I'm Stephen and I'm going to give you my top 10 costumes in Overwatch. I'm a huge fan of Overwatch. There's going to be a section dedicated to Overwatch on the channel. Discussions, top 10s, gameplay and all that. So be sure to check that out in the upcoming weeks. Anyway, let's get to it. It was difficult to whittle it down from 21 to 10. There's so many amazing costumes. 22 soon actually with the added Anna Amari, the healing sniper, mother of Farah. Can't wait to get my hands on her because Farah's one of my favourites. I'd say in my top 3 actually in all the characters. So the lore behind that's going to be really interesting for me. So very jealous that the PC players got it first. So shake our fist at those guys. Anyway, here we are then. Let's get our way to the Halo gallery. Ahem. We're going to start off with number 10. And my number 10 choice is going to be Symmetra. And the one that I choose for number 10 is the Devi costume. It looks amazing, I think. The colours are really great. Interesting background for the character to be chosen to represent a goddess here. Love the skulls there on the side and the golden plated arm and the rubies and everything. I don't play Symmetra that often. If I am going to be a healer type character, it's usually Mercy. Desperately want to get that huge res trophy, but to no avail. Very embarrassing. I've had many opportunities and it's just not happened. So that really winds me up, to be honest. But yeah, Symmetra, cool person, and I will be looking forward to getting that costume eventually. Number 9, we have... Let's have a look at my little list here so I don't embarrass myself, although I probably already am, is Lucio. Again, I don't really play the healers. Lucio's probably the one I play the least. He's a bit too weak for my liking. I've got a friend who plays him, Adam, and he's really, really good with Lucio. I just can't get around to getting there. And my favourite for Lucio is the Ribbit costume. Really cool that it shows a frog as his mascot for his music. Really cool character. I love the colour. I love the legs. The legs are really cool. I think he's got some of the best lines in the game, Lucio, with the can't stop, won't stop and jackpot. I find myself saying that quite a lot when I'm in the shower and I'm walking down the streets myself. Quite embarrassing. I prefer this over the gold version because there's not really a lot going on. It's just the colours. It's not really that good, I don't think so. Yeah, Ribbit is my favourite. I really should get good with Lucio. And next up then for number 7, we have Mercy. Let's have a look at Mercy's then. And my favourite for Mercy is Sigrun, if I'm saying that properly. I love the North mythology on this character. Really, really cool. I like playing as Mercy. People don't usually like to sit in the background and heal and they don't really get involved. But if you go like me and you get the blaster out, bam, 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 everyone's dead, heal everyone. Everybody loves you for it. Still don't have that trophy. Very annoying. I love how they've given her this kind of design, how it's just come out of nowhere. It almost makes it a completely different character. Usually it's a lot of colour swaps, things like that, but for this particular one with the metal wings and all that, I really love this design. I prefer it to the Valkyrie one. I prefer brunettes to blondes, if I'm honest. So there you go. Very, very cool. Okay, so next up, I believe is number 6, I think. We have, as I mentioned before, Farah. I already have this costume. It was one of the first costumes I got. Absolutely love it. Native American. Just obviously she's from Egypt. Sorry. But they went with this, and they're so clever, as you'll find out with some of the later costumes in the game that I'm going to be choosing. But to choose Farah as to be Native American, it's really, really interesting. I love the lore. One of the best costumes in the entire game, I think. Really cool. Love the colours, the little Native American designs everywhere in every little nook and cranny. Really, really, even the shoulder blades, I've only just noticed that myself. And the markings on her face. Really, really cool. Really do love playing as Farah. Okay, number 5, we have Junkrat. And I think you'll probably know which one I'm going to choose. It is the Fool. I love the Fool costume. It really sits well. It sits perfectly with his character. His little dangly ball there, like a bomb, and his little bells on his face. Really, really reminiscent of the Joker. I think that's the kind of feel they were going for. And this really cool sun on his back with a sad face on one side and a happy, slightly evil face on the other. Really, really cool. Love the makeup. One of the most enjoyable characters to play as, especially when you get 4 people, 5 people with his Riptire. Really fun to play up, and one of the quickest people to gain his ultimate if you're quite good with him. That was a tough decision for me with the Fool or the Hayseed one, because going back to Batman again, you've got Joker, and this one is reminiscent of Scarecrow. Really, really cool design, but ultimately for me, it had to be the Fool. So that's number 5. On then to number 4, we have Roadhog. Now, for a long time, I ignored Roadhog. I didn't really think much of him. But as I was trying to get his trophy, I had to spend a lot of time trying to do that. And I fell in love with Roadhog. I think he's one of the best characters in the game. Really, really cool. He can heal himself. He does a lot of damage. He's a beast of a character. And if you have more than one on a level, he is definitely a threat. So you need to take him out. Because no matter how much damage you do, if he heals himself, then you're definitely in trouble. So I've decided to go for the Mako costume. Again, who'd have thought that a pirate costume would go well with Roadhog? I wouldn't have, and here we are, and it just looks ace. He's got his tattoo on his side, he's got a pirate theme on his stomach with the keys, massive anchor. I love the shark. When I saw this, before the game came out, I saw this being introduced, and I thought, wow, these costumes are going to be what keeps making me coming back. Stitches all over the shark. He's obviously killed it and won it as a trophy. Barrel on his back. It's all very themed piratey. Absolutely love it. Again, the really interesting costumes with the Native American kind of voodoo-y type thing. Really, they've gone really clever with the way that they've done the costumes. That's what makes you fall in love with the characters. I chose Mako over Sharkbait because I just preferred the colour scheme, especially the polka dot bandana. Really cool. And he's got a dirty little green nipple ring there, so that's nice if you like that kind of thing. I don't. Next up, I think we're on 4. I'm probably going to be ahead of myself. Is going to be Zenyatta. I don't play Zenyatta very often because he's far too weak. He dies really quickly. I know you're supposed to sit in the background, but it's a bit ridiculous when you can get one shot by nearly every attack in the game. But again, trying to get his ridiculously difficult trophies, I've had to spend a lot of time being Zenyatta lately, and I'm getting good with him, but it's not really fair on my team when I'm dying straight away just so I can do his Transcendence to try and get his trophy. But there you go. A lot bit practice makes perfect. Anyway, my favourite costume for Zenyatta is his Ra costume. Again, completely out of the blue, why would you choose Ra? But seeing as there's a Peacemaker, again, that's very loosely based on Ra, I suppose. I don't know, I'm going to look up on my Egyptology. But I love the costume, I love the colours, the white on gold on blue. Really, really clever, really makes him stand out. Really cool. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, I think now we are on number 3. So I'm going to go over to my main man, Hanzo, one of the more fun characters and the trickiest characters to pull off. I only just recently found out that in the lore, Hanzo is actually a kind of a bad guy, with the drug cartel in his family and killing his brother and all that kind of stuff. So when I found that out, it kind of gave me a different conception of the character. I don't know whether that was for good or bad. I prefer him over Genji, but I do really like Genji. So my favourite costume for Hanzo is by far the Lone Wolf. Huge fan of wolves personally. I have 2 wolf tattoos. And when I saw this, it just makes sense. Noble warrior, which perfectly syncs in with the wolf itself. Great colour scheme, green and red, harks back to the samurai ways. Really cool red arrow tips. It was difficult for me to choose between this and Okami. It's still difficult now for me, but I prefer, there's a lot more going on in this one. There's more colours, they really stand out, they blend together well. I have a tattoo of Okami on my back, so when I found out he had an Okami costume, I fell in love with it. I still really, really like it, but I think Lone Wolf just manages to squeeze ahead. So, yeah, Hanzo, he's a cool guy. Next up, I think we're on number 2 now, is Reaper. My girlfriend got this costume very early on, and it really, pardon my French, pissed me off because I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for this particular costume, and she just got it in a loot box. Very, very annoying. But especially seeing as she doesn't play Reaper very often, so what a waste. And my favourite costume for Reaper is by far, I'd say in the top, obviously in the top 3 because I'm doing a top 10 list, there you go, is the Nevermore costume. I love the colours. It fits him perfectly. How they've slightly altered his guns at the top with the little crow eyes. How he's got the crow mask, and purple's my favourite colour, so it all blends well. And the ravens feathers at the bottom, metal shoes. He's already a really cool character. So to add this to it, it adds an extra depth of character, I think, to it, especially with the purple glowing eyes. And when you see his victory poses and he's wearing that particular costume, let's have a look, let's have a look, let's have a look. I mean, I love the white costume, yeah, but if I could have the Nevermore costume, I would absolutely have it straight away. And seeing him do this particular move, especially this as it's a close-up, I would probably go mental. So I look forward to the day that I finally get that. And here we are with number one, my most used character, my most loved character. I destroy people with this character. My number one costume belongs to Reinhardt. One of the best lines, really cool, laid-back, fierce character. Paragon being a cool costume itself. But that's not the one I'm going to be showing you. The one I love the most. Most people would choose Blackheart and Bloodheart. That's fair enough. I get what's going on there. Harking back to Blizzard. Really, really cool. And it would have been Lionheart. I love the purple on gold on this character. Very noble. He's a loyal warrior, and he deserves that. But recently I've decided to change to Stoneheart. I just love it. It reminds me of ancient medieval times. The warrior sat around his table with his armour. I love the stone plating with all the gravel and grooves here. Brown and red, and his white hair. I just think he really pulls it off, and it really suits the character. Definitely one of my favourite. And if you notice in the top right hand corner, I actually have enough to purchase this costume, because I've been waiting for loot box time and time again. And if you are a fan of Overwatch, you know that it takes a long time to get loot boxes. During this video I've been writing down what I want to say and what I want to do. I've actually gained 3 extra loot boxes, but unfortunately did not claim this, so Reaper will have to wait. I'm going to have to purchase it right now, right here. I love it. Here we go. That costume is mine. I've never taken it off. Yes, finally. So there you go, my top 10 costumes in the game. This is one of the first videos I've done for the channel, so sorry if it's a little bit difficult to hear me, or if I'm babbling on a bit. A little bit nervous, trying my best, but the quality of the videos will improve over time. So I do hope you've enjoyed that. There's going to be a lot more coming from Overwatch, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. If you do like this video, please like and subscribe. And for all things Bird Thoughts 101, keep in touch, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.